You guys, welcome back to Dual Destinies. Oh boy. This has gotta be it. This has gotta be the last part of the trial. I'm freaking out a little bit. I hope I do everything correctly. I don't know where this trial has blindsided me so damn bad. Just when I thought that we actually had something good going in the last one. Apollo steps up and says the trial must continue. He's not saying why. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's wrong with him.
Mr. Justice, explain yourself.
It's very simple. There isn't much to explain. The defendant, Miss Athena Sykes, might not be innocent. Apollo, what are you saying? What do you mean? What are you talking about? The case from 7 years ago has been settled. I'm not talking about the past year. I'm talking about the present case. Wait, you mean with Clay? Apollo, you really think that? You really think she did something to Clay? It's still not clear who killed Clay Terran. But, Apollo, why would you... This is awful. Oh, no. Miss Sykes, please listen quietly to what I have to say. What in the world is Apollo trying to do? Your Honor, please allow me a little of the court's time.
But this is a trial for the case from 7 years ago.
Miss Blackwell, I'd like to ask a favor of you. Just as you lost someone close to you, I lost someone close to me too. I'm sure you want to know the real truth of what happened as much as I do. He's been talking to her too much, eh? Apollo? Sure. You know I'm all for the truth. Now, let's see you expose the princess's guilt. She just wants Athena to go down. Oh, I don't like this. How did this happen? Judge, I give my permission. Continue with the trial.
Very well. Is that all right with you, Prosecutor Edgeworth?
He's not impressed.
Prosecution has no objections. Let's hear Mr. Justice's testimony.
What testimony for what? How is this even occurring right now?
I'll have the police's investigation report brought immediately.
This is why we have all the stuff still from that case. This is why it's still in our inventory, I guarantee it. It's all gonna come up. Not you too, Edgeworth. I really hope it's because you have something up your sleeve. Edgeworth must know something, right? I've gotta trust that he does. And that this is gonna lead to a favorable outcome.
Very well. Your opening statement, please, Prosecutor Edgeworth.
As you wish. Let's review the case of the murder of Mr. Clay Terran. But this isn't even an official court, Apollo. You really want it done here?
It was made clear in the previous trial that Solomon Starbuck was not his killer. Therefore, the true culprit was someone else. On that day, this culprit waited for the astronauts in boarding lounge 1. When the two men made their escape out of the Space Museum, the killer attacked Mr. Terran with the same type of knife that was used 7 years ago. The murderer then escaped into the Space Museum. Right, and then they were switched. Next, Director Yuri Cosmos switched the launch pads. Right. After that, the culprit exited the Space Museum and escaped via boarding lounge 2. I can't believe we're right back here doing this. I guess I knew that it kind of had to come up, because we still don't know who the killer is, because it's got to be the same person that we would have indicted in this one. So whoever that is, this is the way we're going to get to it. Therefore, this trial must make clear who Mr. Terran's true killer was. In other words, we must discover who it was that escaped through the Space Museum that day. Thank you, Prosecutor Edgeworth. Mr. Wright, is the defense ready?
Yeah, we have to be, I suppose. God, I hope I remember everything that happened back then. Yes, Your Honor. I know it was just the last thing, but like in the course of LP time, it was quite a bit ago. A couple weeks. I'd better rearrange my evidence. Okay, thank you. Relevant evidence swapped into the court record.
Now then, Mr. Justice, your testimony, if you please.
What is this even going to look like? All right, let's see. Excuse me, my voice is really shot because I'm doing all these at once because I have to go to Coliseum. Apollo Justice's accusation. All right, let's hear it. I suspected Miss Sykes of the murder of Clay Terran. Ooh, this music. My growing suspicions were confirmed when this incriminating evidence presented itself. The lighter.
Okay? Because it is Athena's, I get it. In addition, she's the only one who could have utilized the launch pad switch to escape. That is why I wish to indict Miss Sykes on the charge of murder. Doesn't he remind you of somebody right now? I'm getting major vibes. Oh no. Order in the court. Mr. Justice, you realize you're charging your own coworker with murder, don't you? Yes, Your Honor, because that is the conclusion my investigation has led me to. No, surely it's gotta be all falsified.
But, Apollo, why? How could you suspect me too?
How could you, Apollo? What did you find? Mr. Wright, your cross-examination, please. Boy, he's not taking any shit. He's not saying nothing. I mean, that's what you gotta do, technically, when you're on a witness stand, right? Oh, he's all business. I don't get it. Just what did you find out over the past few days to make you think this? We're gonna have to get to the bottom of that. Oh, my goodness. What, I mean, honestly. All right, here we go. God, he's really... Whoo-hoo. I suspected Miss Sykes of the murder of Clay Terran. You know my deal.
Hold it!
Pressing it all. Tell me everything. What first made you suspicious of Miss Sykes? Other than the obvious lighter, I suppose. It all started when Miss Sykes and I were investigating the crime scene. When she saw the weapon that killed Mr. Terran, my bracelet reacted. Really? She said she'd never seen the knife before, but my bracelet told me otherwise. Oh, of course. I mean, but now that's explained. She'd seen not that particular knife, but one just like it because of what happened to her. So that's kind of explained, though. And then, every time after that, my bracelet would react when she talked about the case. Poor Apollo must have been beside himself during that investigation. I had no idea. I didn't know what to do or think. I couldn't even sleep. In that condition, I knew I wouldn't be any good in court. That's why he took the time off to find the truth. He had to. So I decided to wear an eye patch so I wouldn't be able to perceive any of her tells. Oh, Apollo! Oh, Jesus! So that's why Apollo was acting strange. Oh, I see. But the reason Miss Sykes unconsciously reacted to the knife that way is because she stabbed her mother's murderer with it, one identical to it, 7 years ago.
Objection!
What do you mean? But that knife was also the murder weapon that was used to kill Clay Terran. It's not the same one, though, surely. My bracelet could have also reacted to her because she knew she was his killer, too. Apollo! Doesn't he remind you of another defense attorney who took a stand at one point? Ugh. I guess he has a point. Even the way he's, like, standing. And, like, just his look, his appearance. It's just me? My bracelet wasn't the only reason I became suspicious of her. What was the other reason? The lighter, obviously, I get it. My growing suspicions were confirmed when this incriminating evidence presented itself. I mean, I agree. That was pretty shocking. That's the lighter that was found in the Space Museum with her fingerprints on it, right? But even if it seems decisive, there must be other facts we don't know about yet. If that's so, go ahead and prove it then. Look, honestly, I don't want to believe it's true either. But Miss Sykes was the only one who was in the Space Museum at the time of the murder. But, Mr. Justice, Miss Sykes had absolutely no motive to kill Mr. Terran.
Objection!
Oh boy, here we go. 7 years ago, Miss Sykes lived at the Cosmos Space Center. It wouldn't be strange if she had some kind of connection to him. Besides, people sometimes kill for motives we can't even imagine. Apollo, you can't really believe that. Look at how he's talking at certain areas. I don't like this at all. I know you've seen plenty of cases like that in your own career, Mr. Wright. Oh, I don't like this. I still can't believe this. How can you suspect Athena, Apollo? In addition, she's the only one who could have utilized the launch pad switch to escape.
Hold it!
Tell me more about how you came to that conclusion. Isn't it possible that someone else used the same escape route? I'm afraid not, Mr. Wright. Why not? The recall, there's a security camera in boarding lounge 1 aimed at the launch pad door. It's the camera that captured Mr. Tarrant and Mr. Starbuck, right? I remember that. There's also another security camera in boarding lounge 2. It recorded Mr. Tarrant's killer, or rather, Miss Sykes coming out of the Space Museum. A camera in boarding lounge 2? First I've heard of it, but it makes sense. But why is this the first time we're hearing about it? That seems relevant. Athena said she had snuck into the Space Museum the night before the incident. She did say that, didn't she? Uh-oh. And then was overcome and passed out until around noon the next day. I was out until about noon of the next day. I didn't even know about the explosion. When I woke up, nobody was around, so I just went out into boarding lounge 2. That's right. Shit. Forgot about that. That must have been when the camera captured her. And that's what made Apollo suspect her even more. But wait a minute. In that case, it most likely recorded the true culprit as well.
Objection!
Yeah, what about that? Who else was there? Anyone? That's a negative on that one too, Mr. Wright. In the footage taken after the incident, Miss Sykes is the only one who appeared. Really? What? Why? Uh-oh, okay. That's bad. That's real bad. Order in the court. That can't be. But if it is, then it's incredibly incriminating. Boy, just like Simon's, right? It's almost the same in a way. Wasn't it you who proved the previous trial of the way the true culprit escaped? It was via the Space Museum after the pads had been switched. Huh. The fact you previously proved turned on its ear, leaving your client high and dry. Oh, thanks. Thanks for the help, Edgeworth. Thank you. I must say, that's vintage Phoenix, right? Boy, it sure is. You got that right. Ugh. Boy, Phoenix, you're taking the piss. Holy shit. Can't help but notice that we have not gotten a refill from my, on purpose faux pas, and that's making me nervous, because if I fuck up and I don't get a refill, that's making me a bit nervous to see. That's why I wish to indict Miss Sykes on the charge of murder. I have pressed everything so far, and I have not found a thing I can do. At least not that I know of. Believing in your client to the end is a basic principle of good defense. Shouldn't you extend that same principle to your own co-worker? You're probably right. Maybe I'm not even fit to be a lawyer. Oh no. Don't talk like that. However, I don't care. This case is special to me. I know that it is. I know. Oh dear. Clay was my friend. And that's why I have to know the truth. Maybe he doesn't really like this deep down. He's just pushing it because he wants the real truth to be, unveiled. I think that I'd like to believe that that's what it is. I'm all discombobulated. Paul suspected his trusted coworker of killing his friend. To dispel his doubts, he investigated on his own, but that only led to more doubts. That's why he's here. Apollo must have been really struggling with this. Well, Apollo may have doubts, but we don't, right? We believe that Athena's innocent. I'll say it again. Athena Sykes isn't the murderer. It's whoever we're trying to figure out who the... I'm really nervous about who this person might be because I have an idea. There's really only one person now that makes sense in the AA scheme of sense to be, and I don't want it to be him. I'm not ready for why or how. Then I only have one thing to say. Evidence is everything in court. Well, Mr. Wright, think you have the concrete proof to knock down my argument? What are we gonna do? Oh, it didn't even let me present it. Well, I mean, it could have, but I didn't have anything that I could see or think of.
Your arguments have been very clear, Mr. Justice, and your facts appear to be indisputable.
Well, Mr. Wright, what do you think of my theory? I think it stinks. Can't say that, though. It looks like not even you can deny it. Miss Sykes was the only one who used the only possible escape route. What? I need to think about these escape routes again. I haven't thought about them in a hot minute.
Under these circumstances, there can be no other suspect but the defendant.
Unless... You think there was an alternative escape route? Is that what you think, Mr. Wright? He is here to help us. Okay, I get what you're doing now, Apollo. I see what you're doing. You're helping us think of... Oh, okay, so we do have to think about the escape routes. Okay, I'm on to you, dude. I'm picking up what you're throwing down.
Is that what you think, Mr. Wright?
Do it. Yes. Phoenix is baiting you to say it. I'm assuming that's what we have to think about. Is that what you think, Phoenix? Was there an alternate escape route? Ooh, I bet there was. Where? I'm not sure. Hopefully the game will lead me to think about it. Yes, they're definitely baiting us to say this. Because if there's not, then it's over. Yes, of course there must have been. Just don't ask me what. Same. You're just bluffing again, aren't you? Don't worry about that. But it always gets to the truth, so don't worry. Me? Bluffed? No way. He knows me too well. Everyone in this room knows that you're doing it, Phoenix. Like, literally everybody. It's fine, Mr. Wright. Even a bluff would suit me just fine. All right, here we go. No, we'll get there. As long as you can clear up this doubt inside me. Apollo! Oh my gosh, dude, I'll do it. Of course I will. Oh, this music, yes. Wait, that's what this is all about? I want to believe in Athena. I really do. Oh, I knew it, babe. I knew that you were. Oh, boy, I'll help you. But what is faith without doubt? That's why I need to question her guilt. So that once the truth finally comes out, I can really fully trust her. So that you can really trust me? It seems your junior partner has just showed us what trials are truly all about. Sure did. I believe you're right. We prosecutors painstakingly question every detail in pursuit of the defendant. While we lawyers believe and defend our clients to the end.
When both sides go all out against each other, that's when we discover the truth.
Oh, everyone's working together. Oh my god. I'm gonna try not to cry. Precisely, and when the battle is over, we will understand the true meaning of trust. That is exactly what trials are about. Wouldn't you agree? Yes. I couldn't ignore the seed of doubt that was growing inside me. Don't. Oh. I'm gonna get that screenshot later, I'm sure. So I decided I need to face it head on. No matter what the truth is that's waiting ahead, I won't be afraid. That's the spirit. Athena, you're all right. It's so like Apollo. Always uber earnest about things like this. It really is. Mr. Justice, I vow to dispel every last bit of doubt in your heart. Good. Because I want to believe in Miss Sykes again. You're really hoping there was an alternative route, aren't you? We'll find it if there was, surely. But if I use the process of elimination, there really aren't that many possibilities. Well, let's look again and see. Director Cosmos was at the southern exit, right, of Boarding Lounge 1, leaving only the control room and the corridor to the Space Museum. Well, then that's probably... Which door could the culprit have escaped through? What about the Space Museum corridor, though? Doesn't that make some sense? Or am I thinking the wrong way? Come on, Mr. Wright, where do you think the culprit escaped to? Here's the thing that I don't remember either, and I don't know if the court record still has it or not. It said that it switched some stuff around. Let me see what we still have. Psych profile. Taryn's autopsy report is now back. The security camera. Launchpad 1 door lock. Or a statement. Herb held a lighter. The lighter itself. The emergency ladder. It was lowered to the ground from the window of the 4th floor robotics lab. That was used to evacuate Space Center personnel. The bomb... Do you remember when we were investigating the there was a corridor somewhere that had leaves in it. Which one was it, though? I mean, they're only showing us this corridor, so I'm assuming it's this one. Remember, that means that maybe when it was switched, it could have been somewhere... I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, something from the outside got in there somehow. Remember that? We didn't really get that as evidence, though. We just noticed it. I'm gonna present this.
Take that!
I think that's it, though. They really only could have escaped the corridor to the Space Museum. There is no other place. All they had to do was use the unconscious Mr. Starbuck's prints to get through the door.
Objection!
Why? It appears that all you're trying to establish is Miss Sykes' guilt. If the culprit used that route, the only exit would have been into the boarding lounge too. The logical conclusion of your argument is that the killer is none other than the defendant. Uh-oh. I knew it. That's the only way it could be, huh? If the culprit escaped into the corridor that leads to the Space Museum... But there was no other place, was there? And I guess it's true. The only exit would have been into boarding lounge 2. But Miss Sykes was the only person captured by the boarding lounge 2 security camera. Oh, wait, did I just fuck up? I investigated the crime scene thoroughly. But the only place the culprit could have escaped to was the Space Museum corridor. There weren't any other secret corridors or anything. So, that leaves us with no other conclusion to draw but that Athena Sykes was the culprit. What could the answer be? Was there really no other escape route? Excuse me, I sneezed again. I'm allergic to questions. Hold on a second. What if? Think about this. Yes, this is what I mean. Think about that. When it was switched, what happened? Where did those mysterious leaves we saw in the corridor come from? I freaking knew it! What if they're a clue to the culprit's real escape route? Which would mean outside. Obviously. But how do we tie it together? I think it is possible that the culprit escaped into the Space Museum, but then came out using a route other than into boarding lounge 2. Oh? Launchpad 1 and the Space Museum were switched after the bombing, meaning the Space Museum corridor was moving along the rail at the time. Which is exactly when an alternative escape route opened for our couple. Oh my god, what if they, somehow got out? I know that it's probably too high up, though, to get to the ground, isn't it? Are you kidding me?
Judging by the intense look in your eyes, I take it you're serious.
Yeah, you know it. Very well then, Mr. Wright, do tell.
Where could the culprit have gone from the museum corridor beside boarding lounge 2?
Where could it have gone? Here's my thought. Outside. Right? Outside somewhere. But there's no, actual... How do you choose outside? Here's what I'm thinking. As it was moving along, what happens to the doorway? Is there a way to, jump out? Is there a way to get out a window? I don't know. That's the thing. But where do I check to do this? How do I do outside? Is it, right here? Do you know what I'm saying? Once this thing detaches, is there a way to get out of there from there? That was the only thing I could think of. I don't know. I have no idea. I'm gonna try it. We're gonna lose points.
Take that!
Outside? We found something odd while investigating the museum corridor this afternoon. Namely, a few dead leaves on the floor. By the way, did you guys look up Dead Leaves? The anime? It's really good. You might like it. Considering where dead leaves come from, they point us to exactly where the culprit escaped to. Yes, I remember seeing some leaves myself. Oh, do you mean... Here it comes. Now watch this. Yep, while the Space Museum was in motion just beyond the corridor safety door... That's what I'm thinking. Yes. It was an alternative place that the culprit could have used to escape. In other words, the culprit's real escape route was... outside. The area outside the Space Center. Now, just looking at that picture just now, it looks like it's majorly high up. So there's no way someone could have jumped. I wonder if there wasn't another, ladder or some kind of thing that they used to get down. We do have the ladder in our inventory, and I guarantee you that's coming up. I wonder if that's the thing.
Objection!
Oh no, wait. I mean, honestly, you know how impossible that would be? The corridor's level with the 3rd floor. Even if the culprit tried to leap to the outside wall of the Space Center building, they would fall to their death.
Objection!
Hang on, though. Do we know if there was something like that ladder there? Ordinarily, yes. But after the bombing incident, the culprit could make use of a certain item. Oh, this has to be it. The Phoenix, you're thinking what I'm thinking, dude.
What item was it exactly, Mr. Wright?
That's why the ladder came back into the inventory.
All right, this is what the culprit used to leap to the outside wall of the main building.
Has to be, because it wasn't in there before. Here we frickin' go. Not the bomb, you dingus. It was lowered to the ground from the window of the 4th floor robotics lab. So if they could use it from the 4th floor, surely they could use it from the 3rd.
Take that!
An emergency ladder? Must be one there, right? Has to be.
There was an emergency ladder in the 4th floor robotics lab. And it was used that day after the explosions to help evacuate people. Miss Blackwell herself used that ladder to escape down to ground level. Recall that the launch pads were switched after the ladder was lowered. Look at that.
Bros.
It's the exact same one, too, is what he's saying. I thought he was going to spin it that there must have been another one, because I couldn't work out how... But now that the diagram shows you, it's obvious. The corridor would have passed by the ladder while the paths were being switched. And that's when the culprit literally sprang into action. Opened it and jumped out. I mean, still a feat, of course, but it done it. And leapt onto the ladder. What? Who would have imagined? Yeah, rabble it up. Rabble in the rubble.
Order in the court. Well, an alternate escape route seems to have emerged.
Which means that someone other than Miss Sykes could have been the culprit, right?
Objection!
What's wrong, Edgeworth?
Making things up on the fly in an attempt to sway the court again, are we, Mr. Wright?
Don't worry about that.
Just mind your business. Your theory has so many holes that put Swiss cheese to shame. Is that why you like me so much? Wait, what?
All right, then. Name one.
I have here detailed information about the Space Center.
Of course you do.
According to this, the distance between the museum corridor and the main building during movement is...
Oh, is it too far?
a full 20 feet.
What? 20 feet? That is pretty far. You're pulling my leg, right?
Can you go a little higher? No? Okay. In addition, the corridor is 3 floors from the ground, or roughly 50 feet. What's more, the culprit would be leaping to a precarious place.
Yeah, but isn't this guy like some kind of freaking Austin Powers, like Superman Phantom Spy? What about that? So what? That just proves that it couldn't have been Athena.
Human beings feel fear in dangerous situations. It's a basic survival instinct.
Wait a minute, what? Why is he saying that?
An ordinary person would certainly hesitate before jumping.
Why was fear highlighted?
Or even freeze in fear and not jump at all.
Objection!
Well, isn't this guy some like freaking James Bond dude? But the culprit had just murdered someone. They weren't in an ordinary state of mind.
Objection!
Nevertheless, why would they have taken that kind of risk? They could have waited for the switch to be complete and escaped to the boarding lounge too.
Objection!
Because there was a security camera in boarding lounge 2. The culprit knew they'd be recorded if they left the Space Museum that way.
Objection!
Ooh, so much back and forth. Hell yes.
In that case, the culprit could have hidden in the museum until things settled down, and then blended in with the other people after the museum was opened.
That's a good point.
But you claim that, despite all this, the culprit took a 20-foot death-defying leap?
Maybe.
Listen, we've fallen off ship before, Edgeworth. You were there. And all in the brief moment the corridor and ladder passed by each other.
That's also a good point.
They would have needed a running start while the corridor was moving to make that jump. If their timing was off or they couldn't jump far enough, it would have been instant death. What kind of person would attempt something like that?
A really highly trained spy phantom dude? Which is what we're going with here? Stop bringing up good points, Edgeworth.
This true culprit of yours is nothing but a figment of your imagination.
Why do you always have to point out every flaw?
Oh no. That's the problem when people know you too well.
Mr. Edgeworth's right. That does sound pretty insane. The culprit would have to be someone who feels no fear like a stuntman. Wait a minute, but isn't that something we've already gone over?
Didn't Simon say that the person showed no fear, no emotions, no nothing? Is that what we're going with? But everyone feels fear on some level, right? Wait a minute. Oh, Phoenix, you just got it too. Okay, that must be it then. I've got it this time. I can prove that there is someone who could have used this alternate escape route. Oh, can you know? I got you, Phoenix. I got you. This proves the possibility of a person who could have used this alternate escape route. Is it in here? What do we have? The psych profile, right? This is what it says. The subject's emotions rarely fluctuate and he doesn't experience feelings like normal people do.
Take that!
That's it. See, okay, I'm just gonna tell you who I thought it was at first. When I immediately thought that the police were the ones that got there on the scene first, or at least something like it, I thought of Bobby. But now they're saying that this person doesn't have emotions, so it can't be him, right? Because that dude's got emotions all over the goddamn place. This is a certain person's very interesting psych profile. The subject doesn't experience feelings like normal people do. In other words, this person doesn't feel happiness, sadness, or fear. Doesn't feel fear? It can't be Bobby then, right? Because he does. We've seen him.
Right.
Oh, your underwear. Shit, you need help with that?
You can't be serious.
Without the constraint of fear, he could easily do what an ordinary person wouldn't dare. That is true. Just look at what happens with people on too much adrenaline. Just as you and I could do a broad jump on the ground without the slightest fear. Especially if he's like a trained spy or something. This subject could make a 20-foot leap 50 feet up in the air. He could choose this extreme way of escaping without hesitation. What's this music right now? Oh shit. So you're saying that to a person without fear? The alternative route would be quicker and eliminate the chance that they'd be spotted? That is kind of logical, isn't it? It's definitely pretty extreme, Mr. Wright.
What, was there such a person there at the scene?
Yes. The Phantom, that mysterious shadowy figure who keeps popping up.
Oh dear.
The Phantom? Again? I knew the Phantom was there behind the scenes of the Space Center bombing. God, this music is crazy. But I wasn't sure if he was connected to the murder of Clay Terran as well. However, now it's all clear. The Phantom is the one who not only bombed the Space Center, but also killed Mr. Terran.
What?
Ugh! Oh, rabble it up. Let's freaking go, y'all.
Order in the court. Order, I say. Mr. Wright, please continue.
There were just too many similarities between this case and the one from 7 years ago. But why, you may ask? Jesus Christ, this music is getting to me. I love it. It can only be because both incidents were the work of the same Phantom. So, then this Phantom is the one who killed Clay? But who is he? I'm worried. I'm worried about this. I am so freaking scared right now. Because even though I thought it wasn't who I just said it was, who else is there? And didn't he, like, arrive on the scene? I can't remember, honestly. I'm trying to think. Did he give us the pictures of the crime scene? I don't remember. I wish I had a better memory. This Phantom has been haunting the case, pulling the strings in the background. Oh my god, I'm scared. It's him, isn't it? It's fucking him, isn't it? It's him. It has to be. Who else could it be, though, at this point? Who could be this unidentified international spy?
Right. This escape route must have been a part of the Phantom's plan from the start, as was tricking Director Cosmos into switching the launch pads. The bomb on the second floor was meant to make the elevators and stairs unusable. That's why he gave advance warning and planted the bombs where he did.
That's true. That's all logical. Yes, I think you're right. But it doesn't explain this one last thing. What's that, Phoenix? So I lowered my emergency ladder like the detective leading the evacuation told me to. Oh, no. Oh, no.
like the detective leading the evacuation told me to. We know who it was. No! This can't be true! But it was such a pain. Why couldn't they have used the ladders in the other rooms? Oh, oh my Oh no! The robotics lab wasn't the only room with an emergency ladder. He couldn't have made that leap unless he was certain which one it would be. So, you mean the Phantom must be someone who knew that particular ladder was going to be used? Oh, I feel sick. That's right.
Who could it be?
I feel sick. I've loved him from the start. I loved him the moment we saw him. This can't be true. Wait a minute. So I lowered my emergency ladder like the detective leading the evacuation told me to.
Fuck me.
They even said it again in case you didn't catch it.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Miss Blackwell lowered the ladder after being told to by the detective leading the...
Oh, Phoenix. Oh, yeah. Phoenix, we know.
You've got to be kidding me. Did you figure it out, Wright? Do you know who the Phantom is?
Oh, I think we have. Yes, I do.
Who is it? Who killed Clay?
Our mystery spy, known as the Phantom, is none other than... I hate this. I hate this. I can't believe this. No, this fucking game. I swear to God, every time I think it's never gonna pull the wool over my eyes like it has in the past, and I'm like, never again will I be fooled. There's no way they could outdo that one. He's been with us through the whole game. He's been helping us through the whole entire game. Oh, I'm gonna be sick. I loved him as a character. Like, if I didn't like him, if it was obvious, well, fine. But like, wow, dude, it was not obvious to me. Maybe it was obvious to you and I'm just dumb, but like, After the explosions, a member of the staff crossed paths with a certain detective. Oh, Bobby, say it ain't so. I was on duty on the 4th floor. It was quite the madhouse, I tell you. As for the detective who was leading the evacuation from the 4th floor, he had a very specific objective in mind. Oh, I can't believe this. So I lowered my emergency ladder, like the detective leading the evacuation told me to. Oh no, oh no, oh no. His objective was to secure his own escape route. I feel sick. Oh, Jesus. When it's someone you don't like, it's one thing. This was not building up to him in the slightest until right now.
Oh, I don't like this dang it robot music.
We lowered an emergency ladder from the 4th floor window and escaped that way. Once everyone else got out safely, I made my way down too, and headed to the shelter. Oh no, oh no. This is a detective you all know. He's even the lead detective on the current case. What's gonna happen? He appears to be a very emotional man, but his psych profile says he's without emotion. Man, that definitely threw me off. How are they gonna explain that? Bobby's full of emotion.
Take that!
No, I really liked him so much.
What?
Are you saying? You mean the Phantom is...
Detective Bobby Fulbright?
Exactly. We were all taken in by his fake persona. Detective Fulbright's real identity is the Phantom. Holy fucking shit! This can't be! But who else could it be? Now things are starting to make sense. Inside job is right. You don't get much more inside than being a detective, do you? How are they gonna explain that?
Order in the court, Mr. Wright. How could this be?
That's easy, Your Honor. Detective Fulbright was leading the 4th floor evacuation effort. Our first clue is that he made no attempt to have any other ladder put to use. The ladder in the robotics lab is the only one he ordered to be lowered. The second is that he directed everybody to the basement shelter via this ladder.
Verily, it was all a part of his plans. He's created an escape route.
Oh my fuck, Edgeworth, could I fall in love with you even more? You just said verily. Bring Verily back. After Detective Fulbright saw to it that the ladder was lowered from the robotics lab, he went to the lounge where he killed Clay Terran and escaped into the Space Museum. The museum started moving slowly, so he waited for the right time, got a running start, and just as the corridor was passing the ladder, he leaped onto it.
I don't believe it.
That addle-pated detective did all that. I don't think he's as stupid as he lets on. Not anymore. Could be anything. Now I don't trust anything he said. Was it really him? I mean, all this time I thought, I know. Me too. He's been so good to us. He's been so kind. Sorry, we didn't catch your name.
I'm Bobby Fulbright, the heroic detective who defends our good citizens from evil.
Should I have seen this coming? Please tell me that you guys didn't see this coming. I don't want to feel stupid. I mean, yeah, the good shtick was really overplayed, but honestly, as the game progressed, he really did seem to be good.
The champion of justice who comes running whenever you're in need. And my catchphrase, it's in justice we trust.
Then, his concern for Simon was also all just one big act? That would make sense why he was so bent on being Simon's handler, right? I thought it was just a thing. Coincidence. He was keeping an eye on that boy, wasn't he? With good reason.
I swore to reform Prosecutor Blackwell and make him a valued member of society again.
That was a lie. He was just keeping tabs on him, I bet.
So I can't just sit by and watch him give it to his emotions and tear the defendant apart.
Oh my god. That monster killed Clay? He had me completely fooled. Come to think of it, he's the one who brought the bloodstained lighter to court too. He sure did. What do you think that meant? Planting shit, making stuff look bad. Dark age of the law indeed. Probably fabricated, probably nicked it off her. The scumbag even made me turn on Athena. Damn it. How the hell did I fall for it? I fell for it too. We all did.
For him to have wormed his way into the police department as well. Ugh.
Oh yeah, Edgeworth's gonna be pissed about that. Get Gumshoe in here. Your Honor, the defense demands to question Detective Bobby Fulbright. Can we even do this, though? This is not technically a real court case going on right now. Can we indict a police officer on this?
Yes, I agree we need to hear from him right away.
Is this gonna work?
The court will take a short recess, and then Detective Fulbright will take the stand.
I guess even though they said that it wasn't real, it really is being treated as real at this point, isn't it? Maybe the judge can do something. This is absolutely crazy. Holy shit. Oh. There was no continuation. I'm going to keep going for just a little bit longer because I don't know how long the last episode will be, the last few. Let's just go a little longer. Let's just see. Hopefully I'll be able to find a place to stop this, although we're at 44 minutes and this would be the best place to stop because I have a feeling once we get in there, testimony is going to begin, huh? Okay. Yeah, I'll do that. So so we won't end on 69 probably. It's not the biggest deal. If we end on 70, I would actually be quite nice. That's a nice round number and I like it. So I'm going to do the best I can. Guys, we've just been handed a lot of information. I'm going to marinate on this, but I'm actually just going to go record the next one right now. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you're enjoying this as much as I am. I can't believe how amazing and shocking this is. Oh my. I'll see you guys in the next one. Toodaloo.